Hey, what's up guys? My name is Moda and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about why if you are in crypto, whether you're mining, investing, whatever, if you are dealing with your emotions, you are going to get wrecked. Okay, the crypto market is ruthless. If you don't go in with a strategy and a game plan and execute that game plan, and you're dealing with emotions like, oh, the market sentiment is this, is that, you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time. Okay, so we're going to talk about just kind of best practices and just give a lot of these examples, right? I know overall mining sentiment has been horrible. Oh, I'm only making 10 cents a day. Going to talk about why this is the time to be stacking, and in reality, this is going to be the most profitable time to be mining it. Okay, if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned. Let's get right to this thing. So currently, market is finally starting to really flip. Sentiment is starting to turn around a little bit. I'm not necessarily fully sold yet. Like, yes, definitely exciting. Good to see the portfolio up. I really want to see a deal with these tariffs in place, though, right? At this point, I feel like I almost have like PTSD just waiting for some FUD tariff news to come out with the China deal and just kind of wreck everything. But once we have these deals in place, I think this is a good example of what to expect. Okay. Once there's more certainty in the market, things are more established, then we can really continue to focus on price action here. But for me, I'm still kind of a little bit iffy. Things are definitely looking good though, right? But just kind of keep that in the back of your head that there still may be opportunities to stack. And even right now, it's still an opportune time to continue to stack, right? Even though all these coins are up, you got to look at different things, right? Certain coins are up, as we've mentioned. And I know this is a big thing. People have been complaining, oh, alts haven't really moved a whole lot yet. You gotta be in the wrong alt or something, right? A lot of these have been moving, and it's been the same ones that continually move on every one of these pumps, right? Certain coins, that's why we like to look at these data points. When things dump a lot, when things pump a lot, we like to get the data because a lot of times you can make short-term trades during those times, right? Like a lot of people have been bitching, like, oh man, a lot of these alts aren't moving. Bro, Solana ranked number 6 was freaking under $100 just a few weeks ago. It's 90 something dollars. Currently 172 bucks. Okay. Sui was another one. You go back a month ago, again $2 and something cents. Currently at $4 freaking dollars. Okay, it's a quick mover. Again, you want to pay attention to these things. You want to look at these things. Because in reality, you have to be confident in your portfolio. I think that's a big thing, is that people are kind of uncertain. They're mining this coin, that coin, that coin, that coin, that coin, and they're not too sure about it. If you're unsure about that coin, you're not stuck to that coin, guys. Like, people have this big mentality, oh, I have this ASIC, I can only mine Casper, I can only mine this. You're stuck to that algo. You're going to receive that coin. You can do whatever the hell you want with that coin. Go into BTC, go into Solana, go into whatever high confidence play you have. Okay, that's been the big thing. Like, oh, I don't think this coin's gonna do well. Caspa has nothing but empty blocks. There's no use case. It's gonna, okay, well, sell your Caspa, go into a high confidence play. This is these times to do it. If you're not confident in your portfolio, fix that, right? There is still time. You need to be confident in your portfolio to be able to kind of stick with that mindset. If you're going to keep doing this thing where you're like fudding yourself, like, oh, the market's down, we're not going to have another bull market, this is over, blah, 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 then that's going to be the case, right? You have to think forward. You have to look at what's happened in the past. Look at all the data points, man. There's been so many data points with, global liquidity, the M2 supply, everything going on, money printers starting to warm up globally, not just here in the US, right? We all tend to forget that it's not just the US, globally. There's so many freaking bullish things that are still indicating that things could potentially go up between now and the next 6 months. Maybe it goes beyond that point, maybe it doesn't, but things are looking extremely good, especially once we get more certainty in the market. Again, a big downfall right now is all this crap with the tariffs. Once we get deals locked into place, not just speculation, once they're locked, expect things to kind of continue, right? Because a lot of these alts, a lot of these coins, your portfolio should have moved extremely well here just these past few days. And if it didn't, you may want to reevaluate, right? And just because also it didn't move doesn't mean it's not going to move, right? A lot of these coins we know do move with specific narratives. Currently right now, the big meta is big coins, bigger market cap coins, as well as AI coins, right? Those have had a little pump. A good example is like virtuals. Again, last month this thing was like 40 something cents, went over $2 recently. Okay, and this is one that we've talked about. Mentioned that when things pump, this typically is one of the first ones. The market finally now is starting to really pump and get out of this tariff slump. So that's why it's done well. Will it continue? We don't know. May start to dump here or to go to $3 to $4 from here. We don't freaking know, right? But at this point, you need to be in high confidence plays, right? If you're not confident in your portfolio, do something about it, right? We're not at the point where it's too late, it's over, it's done. A lot of coins still have potential, but again, you have to select which ones, right? You have to overall assess your portfolio, look at your strategy, look at your allocations, like how you're going to set it up, right? You need to consider all these things. You need to look at all these things because that's the name of the game, right? In reality, all of this, all of investing is just a big mindfuck, right? Specifically with crypto, it's even worse because it's more volatile and it's way faster. It's like hitting the fast forward button, right? Extreme swings up and down, and you have to be able to stomach that volatility. And literally, that's how you get rewarded, is by going through that, right? So during these times, I know, like even in the mining community right now, oh man, I'm only making 10 cents. Why should I be plugged in? If you still have that mentality, bro, you're not gonna make it, right? If you think that coins are not gonna do well, then get out of it. Go into something else. But at the end of the day, we've seen over and over and over, specifically with miners, one of the better strategies is mining and hodling, right? To me, out of this cycle, mining cycle, that has been the only winning strategy. And at this point, it's too early to count it out. I know a lot of people said, oh, this thing was a dud, oh, this one's dud. You got to wait until this thing is over, right? There's still a lot of ways to go. A lot of these coins will hopefully appreciate quite significantly from here, right? And again, you have to be in it to win it. Some of these things may work out, some of these things may not. Some of them may be a complete dud, but until we hit, sometime September, October, November, BTC is at 140, 150, then we'll see what the alts are. And then once we are beyond that, and if BTC retraces to under 100K, then we can really assess which ones played out well, which ones didn't, right? Because some of them will. We're going to have coins that, even from this point, will do a 20, 30, 50, 100x from here. Which ones will, though? No freaking clue, right? We have, me personally, the way I play it, it's a game of probability. I'm placing my bets on coins that I think will do well. It's a balance act between coins that I have high confidence in, things like Solana, as well as a smaller mix, a smaller allocation portfolio of these higher risk plays to have some of that potential, right? And it's, for me personally, I'm not one of those that have like 50, 60 positions. I probably would if I didn't have a strategy, but I try to limit it so I can go a little bit harder into those coins I do believe in, right? Depending on the sector, all over the place, right? Whether it's proof of stake coins, mining coins, deep in coins, low cap coins, Web3 gaming, DeFi, all over the place, right? That's just my style. I'm into everything. So I look for opportunities, right? Regardless of where they're at, okay? Because they're here and they've been around. And let's give some examples about it, right? Because again, it's something that we've seen throughout this entire cycle, that the people who have made out the best here are the people who just mine and held, right? They went through all the FUD, because trust me, if you think it's bad now, go back like 2 or 3 years ago, or like right when I was starting this channel. Argument after argument, negativity after negativity is just go over, it's not doing anything, GPU mining's dead, kind of similar to what we're feeling right now, right? That was the exact same sentiment back in the end of 2022, right? For example, we're going to take a quick look at just like Casper, for example. This is a historical snapshot from October of 2022. Casper was ranked number 534, only a $22 million market cap, 0.001729. It's crazy where it's gone since then, right? This is another snapshot. This is from October 7th, 2022. This is GPU mining on a 3070 at a 10-cent kilowatt hour. You can see how everything was negative. Again, very similar to what the sentiment is now. You just had to look for opportunity. Again, the people who made out here are the people who either mined, right? This is a 10-cent kilowatt hour, so people who had cheaper electric, maybe they were break even or better, or even if you were buying the coin, which is, for example, what I was doing during this time. people who mine during these times are the ones who made out the best. So again, Caspa, that was Caspa's price. That's where Caspa was back then. Currently, we all know what it's done. It's ranked number 30 freaking 9 now. Okay, but like people who mine and held during those times, again, the FUD was extreme, GPU mining's dead, all these shitcoins are done, there's going to be no more cycle, blah, 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 blah. And we all see how that panned out, right? Because even looking back here, look how many more coins there were, right? Most people weren't even mining Caspa directly. It was a secondary coin. People were dual mining with Ergo. And even Alephium, same thing, right? People were dual mining that thing because it wasn't that popular. It wasn't even that profitable. Again, Caspa during those times, you were losing 11 cents mining it. Okay, but yet we have seen what it eventually turned into. Okay. And that's kind of what we have to believe in. The difference between then and now, though, I don't have as much confidence in a lot of the coins that are there, right? So, for example, coins now, and this is why I'm not really stacking too many of the GPU mineable coins, just because, again, even back then, we were big into Caspa. We did love Alephium, and those are the times that we stacked it, right? So there also is going to be Raven, Flux, Ergo, like these are coins that are likely to also potentially do well this cycle. Is just, for me at this time, there's other coins that I have way more faith in, right? So that's kind of one key difference from this point in time compared to now, especially with GPU mining, is that at that time, Caspa was extremely appealing, also Alephium. So there were other coins there as well, right? So that's definitely one big thing to kind of note, right? So just depending on your outlook, depending on what you're looking at. Because as far as any of the GPU mineable coins now, I'm not really too big on them, right? I'm not a really big fan of Zealous or a lot of these other coins, and that's why I'm just not really stacking any of those, right? Realistically, once I stack the coins I want, it would be things like Ergo, Flux, things of that sort that I would potentially look into more than anything, right? But again, just a reminder that during these times, this is when yield is good. Again, break even or better. This is when you want to be stacking. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing it at a major loss. If you're losing a nickel a day, not that big of a deal. But if you're losing a couple bucks a day, buy the coin, right? Another example of this is with like CKB, right? This is one of the bigger ones that had a damn near bull run right in the middle of the freaking bear market. Okay, again, this is another one we mined starting way back here. And again, during this whole boring time where it was down here, nobody wanted to touch it. It was barely break even or better. You're wasting your time. It's dead. I just stayed stacking. Everybody who was into it stayed stacking because it's not profitable or not really profitable until it is. And then it's too late, right? Because then what ends up happening, as we've seen, and again, this is likely going to happen with a lot of these mining coins, is that it's not going to be a super sustained uptrend from here, right? Especially with these smaller cap altcoins, there's potential that this is going to be something similar to what we see in hopefully the blow off top of this bull market. Is just literally a blow off top, right? So if we have this uptrend like this and it's only short lived, who makes out there? The people who mine and held during these boring times, not the people who waited till like, oh, the profitability is decent now. Now I'll get one of these ASICs. Now we're good. By the time you get it, it's over. And then what happens right after? It dumps. Why? Because all these people FOMO in because now it's profitable. So now people either want to plug in or they want to buy the unit. And then profitability just tanks, right? Again, the people who win here are the people who mine and hold during these boring times, during this whole year, right? You stack and you dump here. All these people who don't want to mine until things are profitable, I love those guys, okay? Because they're my exit liquidity. They're the reasons I'm going to make out well. I don't want any of you guys, though, the few of you guys who watch this channel, to be that, right? We want to be the guys stacking during this time and then dumping on them, okay? That's the point of all this, and that's how you got to play this. This is PvP, right? This is a brutal, ruthless thing. You have to understand it. You have to learn how to play the game and understand when it's time to go, okay? Because, for example, take another snapshot during, this is September 17, 2023. This is during some of the downtime with mining, right? At this point, things were pretty down. The KA3, for example, was only making $2. Even the L7 was making $1.70. We got to scroll pretty far down to go with our example with the K7. You were losing about $1 a day. Okay, this is at a 12 cent kilowatt hour, so that's why it's a little bit worse than what it should be. If you're at a 10 cent or better, you'd be break even. But during these times, nobody wanted to stack this thing, right? But then what happens during the pump? Things change drastically, right? It goes from making that amount to now making 16 bucks a day in April of 2024, right? So again, we're looking September, which was during this time. Down here, we're down here. And now April, when we're up here, now the profitability looks good, but this is when it's time to exit. This is when it's time to take profits. Not to be like, oh, you know what? Now it looks good. Now let me start. You're going to get wrecked. Even you guys, ASIC mining right now, if you're break even or better, if your strategy is to mine and hodl, which to me, again, we've seen it time and time again, that's the only strategy that has made sense this entire cycle. That's how you get ahead of the game, right? And even a more recent popular example with freaking Dogecoin. Same thing. It was not super profitable until it was, right? Before that run up we had in November, we were like 10 freaking cents. Okay, and then magically from one day, literally within not even a month, right? We're 11 cents all the way to freaking 40 something cents. Okay, massive. And this is from a massive coin. This is not a smaller market cap coin. This is a coin that's ranked number 8, right? $35 billion market cap currently. Okay, so again, people who made out here are the people who bought L7s for like 2 to 3 grand, mined on them for a year, year and a half, 2 years, dumped some of their coin there, dumped the hardware here, in some cases dumped their L7, held onto that money, and then used it to buy a freaking L9. Smart as hell, right? Those are the winners, not the people who waited till this pump, right? Like, oh man, now it's looking good. Now instead of paying 8K or 6K for L9, now that it's 16K, now I want to jump in. Wrecked, bro. Over and over again. Same thing with the K7. Same thing with the KA3, right? With Kadena, we saw different pumps. I'm not even talking about the recent one. We had pumps recently in the past couple of years up to like $1.70. That's when people wanted to buy, and just same exact thing again. Example after example after example is just the price goes up, and that's when people want to get in. That's when you get wrecked. Okay? And it's just things can flip, and this is the other thing. People are so bearish, like, there's no way this coin can do this. Just go back in time, right? Again, look at freaking XNA. It was a coin that came out of nowhere in the matter of weeks. Okay, like, look at this thing. From November 14th, it was a $7 million market cap. By November 26th, 65 million. Okay, damn near a 10x in days. Okay, that's what these smaller market cap coins can do. Okay, again, which ones will do it? We don't know. This is one we did get lucky on. We did buy a little bag because there was a little narrative just because of the emissions with this thing. And we sold up here. Okay, again, we don't know which one's going to happen to. This is why some people's strategy is to allocate a little bit into quite a few things, into some things that look promising, and go from there, right? But again, it doesn't take much, especially for these small market cap coins, to do something like this. Okay, so I know people get in the mindset, oh, it doesn't do anything, it's not this. If there's an incentive for this thing to go up, it's likely to have a pump. Whether it's a market maker on an exchange or a hardware manufacturer, it doesn't take much to do this, right? And then what happens? Let's say it was ASIC mineable. Let's say it was a freaking Radiant or something. What do you think happens after that, right? A lot of people buy the hardware. It incentivizes the manufacturer. That's how people get wrecked, right? Again, the name of the game is getting in early and then just paying attention to things. And again, like we mentioned, another thing that tends to happen that we've seen throughout this cycle is things tend to pump kind of in clusters at the same time, right? It's certain narratives, certain niches, all just have pumped at different times, kind of at the same time, right? If you guys remember, we had this big GPU mining pump back in freaking April of 2023, right? This is when Radiant went from nothing all the way up there. Insane run up. Nexa did also, guess what? Right at the same time, also April 2023. Right? So again, this is probably going to be the name of the game when it comes time to exit. Do I think every single alt's going to pump at the exact same time right after? Probably not. Probably now now in the next like 6 to 8 months. If you see a huge narrative pump kind of abnormally, especially with these smaller market cap coins, you may want to at least consider taking profits, right? Especially if you see something similar to this, where it's like a 5-10x in the matter of weeks, that may be its pump, right? It's really hard to say, but that's something we've seen kind of over and over, right? And it's something that definitely stands out. We saw with GPU mineable coins, AI coins, Web3 gaming coins, DeFi coins. Right now, it's these larger market cap altcoins. We've seen it with the DePIN sector. And if you guys remember, this pump was all in December of 2023. Same thing. Magically, all the DePIN coins all pumped. Again, if there's some kind of reason, some kind of narrative, it's gonna happen, right? We saw this with the Helium Mobile token, which had this God candle December 2023. Demo, same exact thing, right in December 2023. Also, we're also with the Honey, with Hive Mapper, with their Honey token, same exact thing, right? And again, it's the same narrative also, though. It's people, because who made out here, right? The people who mined and hodled this thing during these times and then sold up here. Not the people who tried to pay for hardware up here and waited 12 months to not get anything. Those people got wrecked, right? And we saw that with everything. Saw a similar thing with Demo. These things were sold out for months and months and months. Okay, it's following the narrative, kind of playing the game, understanding these things. Okay, because again, this whole time prior to this, it's not doing anything, it's going to zero, it's dead, yet these are the times to stack in preparation for these types of things. Right now, as far as which ones are going to do that, super hard to tell, right? We don't really know. Again, this is why you kind of place your bets, and that's why if you're into certain things, if you're seeing things with that project where like, I think it can do well, I think it has potential, whether it's a device, whether it's the coin itself, these are the times to be stacking. So for example, if you think Demo can do something like this again, these are the times to get the little device when it's available for MSRP. It ships now. You don't have to wait 6 months because it's back ordered. Same thing with this thing, because then what happens when you wait until this happens, right? The device, it's going to go on eBay for $3,000. It's going to be sold out for the next 8 months, even though they're going to tell you that you buy it, it's going to ship in 30 days or something. We've seen that over and over. For any guys last cycle, Helium was the big one. The IoT devices, people were paying ridiculous prices for those things. Again, it's something that we've seen over and over and over and over and over, even recently, right? It's the ones who make out the best are the ones who are mining and holding during these boring times. Not the people who wait, okay, now it's profitable, now it's making 20 bucks a day, now let me get in. It's very short term. A lot of the times it does not stay. It only lasts a few months and it goes down. You're going to way pay for that hardware and you're just going to get wrecked, right? Again, whether it's these little DePIN devices, whether it's GPU mining, whether it's ASIC coins, whether it's proof of stake coins, DeFi coins. Again, when everything's on fire and it's the end of the world, like again, I've mentioned Solana over and over that we purchased a bunch under 10 bucks. Because at the time, Solana is dead. It's going to zero because this was right during, not too long after the FTX collapse. And look at what it's done, right? Because like we mentioned during the videos we did during those times, go back and watch those videos, right? We talked about it. What fundamentally changed with Solana? Not a damn thing. It was all FUD. It was because of the FTX crap. We even saw like going into the financials, how much SOL did they have? How much locked SOL? None of that was affecting it. It was literally just FUD. Okay, look at the fundamentals of the coin. Did that coin get major impact? In that case, it didn't, right? And it's one we had followed from the previous cycle. That's why we're so bullish on it, and that's why we continue to follow it. And it's just a coin I followed, a coin that I thought was going to do well. That's why we went into it, right? So regardless of whatever your niche is, again, that's one thing I'd recommend also. Find your niche. Find what you're into. Proof of stake coins, mining, DePIN, DeFi, gaming, whatever sector you're in, get into that sector, dive in that sector, learn about those coins, which ones have the potentials, right? Look at the coins, look at the team, look at the tokenomics, fundamentals, emissions, unlock. There's so many factors you do have to look into, and it's very extensive. That's why for me, I don't like having a portfolio of like 50, 60 coins. I'd rather have a portfolio with a max of like 15 that I can follow fairly closely or at least educate myself on. How are emissions? What are things looking like? Are there any unlocks? Is it a fair launch coin? Is it this or is it that? Like what's going on with it? And I can keep up with these things, right? So definitely a lot of things to consider, guys. But again, at the end of the day, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a plan in place, you're gonna get wrecked, right? It's extreme volatility. Be confident in your portfolio. Whatever it is, if you're not confident in it, make it something you are confident in, right? Swap out your coins, do whatever you gotta do, go on to BTC, whatever it is, whatever your goals are, you have to kind of establish that, but you should not be at a point where, oh, I don't think it's gonna go up anymore. I think it's done. Then get out of it, bro. Like, go into whatever you think it's gonna do, or go with your gut. Because telling you right now, if you have a gut feeling that something's gonna go up, the coin you're into isn't gonna do well, and the coin you want to go into is gonna go up, what do you think is gonna happen? That coin is probably gonna do immensely well, while your coin fucking just continues to go down. Are you gonna be able to live with that mentally? Like, go with your gut. Go with what makes sense, because that's going to be the hardest part about profit taking. It's going to be a major mindfuck even in that aspect, right? The whole coulda, woulda, shoulda thing. If you're going to, that's going to be immense guilt, because we're at points now, depending on your portfolio size, things can get crazy, right? Things, we have seen it time and time again. We've seen it throughout even just this bear market, right? Even with Solana right now, again, that's a 17x on a major coin. Caspa being my personal biggest thing, even at its current price, where everybody's crying like, oh, it's only 10 cents. Perspective. Again, the reason we highlighted October 22, that's when I was buying it. Okay, we're sitting, if you buy anywhere during that range, even at its current price, you're sitting at a freaking 50x. Okay, like, they're here, they've been available. It's just, you have to look through the FUD. Okay, just like there was FUD back here during these times when we bought this, Solana, anything else, you have to go through it. Just like the FUD you've had these past 3 months. Cut through the bullshit, look at what you think is going to do well, and go for it, right? So again, totally up to you. You have to decide what you think is going to do well, but again, we've seen time and time again, and all the data points, everything we're looking at points to a lot of good things happening between now and the next 6 months. At least for me, that's the way I'm looking at it. That's why I'm investing heavily. So I'm taking advantage of this dip we've had, which that's another big thing. You gotta get in that mindset that if we have dips like that, that's a freaking gift. Okay, being able to buy Caspa less than a month ago for a nickel, freaking gift. Being able to buy virtuals, like we mentioned, at 40 something cents, freaking gift. BTC at 70 something K, and it's over 100K now, freaking gift. Okay, until you get into that mindset that you're kind of happy either way, right? If we're in a bear market, prices are going, okay, time to stack. Prices are pumping, time to sell. Like, until you can really get in that mindset, you're going to continue to fail. And this is why literally probably like 80-90% of you guys aren't going to make out well, right? I know a lot of you guys were here last cycle with GPU mining. A lot of you guys probably learned a lot of good lessons. Hopefully you learned from it and you are of the percentage that does do well. Okay, it's totally up to you. But again, simplify things, make your life easy, have a strategy, high confidence plays. Okay, if you're going to be doing all this degenning crap, and it's crazy, bros. Again, the only way you're going to keep sane is get the emotions out, get that strategy, do the damn thing, right? Let me know in the comments, guys. What have you guys been doing? Have you guys been sticking to a plan? What's been working? What hasn't been working? Let me know in the comments, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching, and I am out.